All right, welcome to Megapath Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and we are back. What the hell was that? My water bottle popped. We are back finally discussing The Walking Dead. Let's get this image out of here. There we go. All right, we're back discussing The Walking Dead for Season 10. I'm going to dive right into this and let a few live members catch up. We'll start the first impression review in a minute, but I just want to recap for anyone who might have missed it. The plan for Season 10, every episode is going to get a good old-fashioned review on this channel. It'll likely be tomorrow. And the premieres and finales will have a special live stream at 10:30 following the episode. And if the episodes run a little long, obviously it'll be anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes after each episode. But if you didn't hear the update, live streams for every premieres and finales, and then every episode is going to get its own mini review. So that's going to be the formula for Season 10. We'll see how it goes. And any other updates before we dive into the first impression review? Since it's been a little bit, I should remind some of you and some of the new people. The way it works is we're doing a first impression review, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and then we're going to go into the fan feedback for the rest of the stream. Streams run, or at least we try to hit that hour mark. We often run longer, but that's pretty much the structure of it. So we will be going into the first impression review right off the rip. And if you're just here for that, you can bounce before we get into the fan feedback, which is directly from y'all in the comments box. Last, before I get into my review, well, wait, where the hell my notebook? Yeah, before I get into the review, last thing, when we go into the fan feedback, if you want to ask me something specifically, make sure to put @ and then Megapath Presents, all one word. And if you look on the screen, it highlights it in orange. This way, if you're talking to each other or you just want to say something, it's here in the white. And then if you're talking to the stream specifically, it'll highlight it in orange. This will be pretty quick. I missed the beginning. I had a cable issue, which was annoying as hell. But I got it resolved, luckily. I think it was about 6 minutes into the beginning. Now, I did see the intro on YouTube a few days ago, and it cut off when Michonne was doing like the badass slow motion walker kill, which I'll be rewatching that tomorrow again, just to make sure I didn't miss. I probably missed some of the action after that, but that was cool. But again, I only saw part of that. Now, so they're on the beach again. I missed the intro, and I believe I missed the satellite in the beginning. Someone said there's a satellite. So there's a satellite, and then they're on the beach, and they clear out some walkers from a boat. They find a whisperer mask, and this is starting to set up the paranoia that the communities are going to, well, it's entering into the paranoia that the communities are going to feel, but it also is highlighting through Aaron and Michonne's conversation that they've been holding their breaths, so to speak, because of the Whisperers and waiting for something to go bad with them. Which I like having the Whisperers just out there and us not with them, especially with episode 1, because every time walkers come in, you're thinking, are they Whisperers? Could they be Whisperers? Will they show up? I love that feeling of them just being around. Now, we get a little bit of Negan, which the one trailer made it look like our heroes were off looking for Negan, and it wasn't. They were actually off looking for Whispers after they found the skin. So then, pretty much just setting up everyone seeing this satellite that fell from the sky. We touch in on Negan. Lydia doesn't seem like she's assimilating well with the community. And with this one, you have empathy for her because you get it. People are looking at her in a way, that side eye. We touch base with Daryl and Carol. I did really enjoy the dialogue between them. Daryl's getting more dialogue. He got more dialogue in season 9. That's great. Keep it up. They did take it into a comedic route, but I felt like it was grounded enough where it definitely works, especially for those two characters. The Dante scene, I want to point this out. Dante is a character that a lot of fans were eager to get to. In the comic book, he was dressed in the Jesus armor. Remember how Jesus, before he died, he had that hilltop armor? Well, a lot of them dressed in that really similar hilltop / kingdom type armor. Now, Dante had that armor, and I believe he was Hispanic, and he had a big crush on Maggie, and he didn't hide it. Every word out of his mouth when Maggie was around was basically like, listen, Maggie, I have the hots for you, and I think you have the hots for me. He had delusions of grandeur, but he did it in a charming way. And eventually in a comic, he hooks up with Maggie. Well, it doesn't look like they're going that direction with this Dante, because this Dante is not a soldier doing patrols. He's more of a medic, learning and from Sadiq, apprentice, whatever. And he has this weird moment that did not work. I think one of the moments that really didn't work for me was his joke of kissing and calling Sadiq God. And again, this doesn't have anything to do with being gay. I don't give a shit. Plus, Sadiq isn't gay. And even if he was bi, it's not about that. It just came off clunky and jarring. Yeah. And again, I think, maybe it just didn't land with me. Medicine and playing God, or maybe I should call you God when he was leaving out of I don't know. That shit didn't work for me in a big way. I was like, but again, that's such a small moment. But I'm nitpicking some of the things that didn't work, because there was a lot that worked. We're not going to talk about the CGI deer. No one bring up the CGI deer. We don't ever need to talk about CGI deers. Anyhow, so one image, and again, it's only a few seconds, but this is up my alley. Anytime we see stuff like this, I'm glued to the screen. Carol and Daryl are hunting a deer. Shit. We ended up talking about the deer anyway. So Carol and Daryl are hunting an animal, and they wound this animal, and they pan out, and they do this wide shot, and it's a road, part of the road, the concrete is broken, there's a car here, rusted ass car. I think part of the car was like in the broken road, and then you have another car up a little further. Those shots, I want so much more of those shots. We so rarely get these wide shots, and they're big moments. And I like how this wasn't a big moment where you see the Capitol building. Didn't we have the Capitol building real big? Something like that. Maybe it had been a museum. It doesn't matter. Was it even the White House? Shit. Season 9, we had so big, they panned out wide. They do that for big moments, but usually it's a lot of the really similar scenes where you're somewhere, it's dirty, messy, and then there's tarps all over the place covering, so you can't see back there, but everything looks post-apocalyptic. But when we see these types, and it's just a moment, but if we can get more in there, I think that would help a lot visually. The third series looks like we're going to be getting a lot more of those. But again, that's the third series. They want to pull people in, so they got to lay it on thick with the visuals. But I hope Walking Dead does more of those scenes. So then, essentially, this episode is just setting up the satellite, which I'm assuming it's not just there. We already know why the satellite hit. And I'm not talking about, satellites and their orbits and all that shit, and they slow down and decay, whatever the little news blurb I read said. I'm not talking about that. From a writing perspective, the satellite is what creates the fire, which is the only thing that makes them cross the border. Daryl's like, no, we're not getting the deer. Fucking deer. He's like, no, we're not getting the animal. And Carol's like, we'll just go get it. And he's like, no, we can't. Why push it? So they're not crossing the border, other than that one time in the snow, but we're not going to talk about that. So they already show that they're not going to do it. They won't, even for a simple grab the deer and get at it, grabs the animal and get out of there. So the satellite is this urgency. It's a fire. If they don't get to it and put it out, it's going to spread and take out the ocean side. So is there more, though? Is Eugene going to find something that's going to help them communicate with the Commonwealth? Is he going to find something that's going to help this community and the story some other way? Or is this the one catalyst to set off the conflict for Season 10 with the Whisperers? At this time, it looks like that's the only purpose for the satellite. But again, this episode was a lot of setting it up, having everyone meet there. And then at the end, we all know Daryl takes Carol to where he saw the huge horde. It's not there anymore. But they do see, or Carol sees Alpha coming out, and they have a little eye to eye. And it's like, listen, which is interesting because in the comic, Carol wasn't even there. And it makes me wonder how much confrontation will they give between Carol and Alpha. I'll be honest, I kind of want them to have a little something, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to just go to Daryl or Michonne or any of the other leads. I kind of feel like Carol would be a good character to get that. But there's also the comic storyline. Will they go that route? Because it does make sense. What else are you going to do with that other character? I don't want to put spoilers in here, but that's it for my review. I saw a lot of positive, I mean out of this world positive praise for the episode. I didn't get that. I liked it. I wasn't absolutely blown away in love with it. I enjoyed almost everything. You guys saw me nitpicking at like a couple pieces of dialogue. And there was something else, and it was so small I forgot, you know. It was so nice getting them back, and it was setting up what's coming up. But as far as being blown away, I do feel bad, though, because when you're watching it, you can picture how they're like, okay, we're going to have Daryl. He throws an axe at a flaming tree, and it's going to fall down and take out walkers. We're going to do slow-mo where you have walker brains flying out. There's a tongue flickering when Michonne does the... And we get so much of it, though. It's kind of like, I understand. That probably took a lot for them to put together. But it doesn't wow. You know what I mean? Because we get so much. It just doesn't wow as easily as it did before. So, yeah, there was cool fire-zombie mixture. There was cool slow-mo with, you know, cutting up some zombies. But again, it just, for me, it doesn't have that wow. But I still enjoy it. I still think this is a good start to set up and kick off the story. And that's pretty much it. Again, I think it's a good setup for what's to come. I'm excited for episode 2. It looks like we're going to be hanging out with the Whispers in episode 2, which I don't mind because I love Ryan Hurst. Okay. I don't know why, but I am freaking thirsty. I am a thirsty mouth. So that's it. We're done with my first impression review. I'm going to go to the fans now. Like I said before, if you guys want to ask me something specifically, put @ and then Make a Path Presents, all one word. It's going to be in the comments down here. And I do want to mention, before anyone leaves, since we're done with the review, we are doing live streams at the end of every month for Map Mob members. Those are members of the Map channel, that little join button. And a mixture of that and Patreon supporters. We did our first one the 3rd of October, I think, but that was September's. We will be doing another one in the end of October. We're getting them going, and eventually people at the private streams will be, or it's kind of like the behind-the-scenes streams. They'll be able to vote on what we do. We're going to be building a tiered system so you can vote on, because we have some new content coming where you'll be able to vote on the certain movies that we cover, and everything, the whole process. We're going to be putting together the overlays and working on music and sound effects, and because there's going to be little chimes in the new content. So we're going to go over everything there, but it's going to be really interactive on that back end. So we're trying to build up a little, let people know, because we had it up and running and it didn't get a lot of sign up, but then after the fact we got more. So I did take a piece of advice to do it on a weekend. I didn't even think about it. So maybe let's say, for example, every Friday or every Saturday, at the end of the month. So the last Saturday, let's test this out. Last Saturday of every month will be the private streams, the behind the scenes streams, let's call them, because I don't know what else. And those are for Map members. You'll get the community tab, Map Mob members, and then Patreon, it'll be in the Patreon posts. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. I think there was something else I wanted to mention, but I don't remember now. All right. So what did you guys think of the episode? I do want to, we're not going to go long in this stream. We can't. The algorithm has been hell. The algorithm is so bad from streaming that I'm considering putting all the new content on a separate channel. I hate it. And I shouldn't even talk about it because it's just something I thought of today. Later today, I was like, I should just start a new channel and put all the new content on that because it'll be all the same stuff. It's the ones I was talking about before where we take a movie and cover the flaws and the pros and cons. But we have a grading system. We're going to have little neat imagery animations at the end of it when we put the movie away in the shelf or whatever. Eventually, at first it'll be startup, but I was thinking I might as well just put it because I was testing out channels like my other channel, and I have another channel that has like no subs on it. No one talks about. I don't promote it, and that I wanted to see how it tracks between the different channels. And that one, I don't know. It just tracks better than this. The algorithm is terrible, so we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We're gonna do the first test run of the new content this month. It's coming out real soon. I got to get my butt moving on that. Anyhow, Make a Path Music Mana says, how hyped are you for this season versus others? You don't seem as pumped as seasons before. Fatigue setting. I'm not. My excitement is, it's weird. It's like the best way I can describe it is it's nice having The Walking Dead back. It's like, man, that's nice. I miss these characters. I miss Daryl and Carol and Michonne and Aaron. I really like Aaron, especially if they're going to turn him into more like a comic Rick. I miss the world and especially the world with these characters specifically. So it's kind of like, it's nice. And Connie, I don't want to forget Connie. I like Connie. So it's nice getting back into it. But the sad truth is there is something missing. It just does not have that same magnetic, charismatic draw that sucked me in the first few seasons, especially. I think season 1 and season 2 were probably the biggest, like, as far as magnets. I still had a lot of, like, love for the series after that, but that was like the huge draw. The first draw of any series is always going to be the biggest because that's when you first like Stranger Things season 1's never going to redo that, because that's the first time where you hear it. I went to see The Joker recently. The first time you see it, it's like, oh, I'm in love with this movie. You're never going to get that back, but yeah, it is missing a little bit of its oomph. J-Dog. So the event starts the wars, Carol not having the forethought to not let Alpha see her. Boo. Well, we're going to have to wait and see. But so far, that's what it's looking like they're setting up. Bryant Martinez. How long do you think the Whisperers War will last? Do you think 2 seasons is too much? Yeah, I think the Whisperer War will last all of season 10. Well, this is tricky. Are you counting when they first declare a war, or are you counting right now? I think the Whisperers and the Whisperer War will last all of season 10 and part of season 11. I think it'll be a blend of that plus setting up where they're going with the Commonwealth and whatever else they're bringing original. Nasty Nate. Ronnie, did certain people get to see this episode early? Because I already watched this episode like a week ago. Someone posted it on YouTube. Yes, they put this out a week early, and they're going to be doing that for every episode from what I understand. They put up a post saying if you join AMC Premiere, which is at this point in time, it's a really basic service. I'm not joining it. It's essentially, it's like right now, it's just like, here's a few bonuses. I'm not joining it now. I will not join it until it is a standalone and it has quadruple what if they don't want to do that, that's fine, don't. But right now it's kind of like watch commercial free, watch it early, and here's a few extras. I think they posted The cast reading, was that on Premiere? Again, I'm going by the commercials, but pretty much you're watching select shows commercial free. I want it to be more like AMC's mini Netflix, and again, it doesn't have to be anywhere near as big as Netflix, because they won't have nowhere near the catalog. But it would be nice for them to start with going so far in depth. I mean, it could, anything they put on YouTube, you can find it there. It doesn't matter. That's when I would join. But yeah, it looks like every episode, I hope episodes with huge spoilers they don't put out a week early, but we'll see. I loved it. What did you like? What did you like? Because all you heard were negatives. I mean, watch the first 15 minutes of this stream, I'll have to say. I think Daryl was kind of a day break because she don't say yes when fuck. Oh, yeah, you're an idiot. Will Negan impact Gabriel's decision making? Well, that's the tricky thing. In the comic, we really thought there was going to be a lot going on between advice, old leader versus current leader, Negan and Rick. Not versus, but kind of an amalgamation of the two. Because Negan would say what he would do, Rick knows what he would do, and then they would combine, and Rick would come up with a new thing out of that. But it didn't go anywhere. It was like a thing for like 3 issues. So I think it's probably comic material coming to the screen, and it might impact it for like an episode or 2. I would like it to do more, but we'll see. Are you going to bring back the polls for future episodes? Shit. I forgot about doing a poll. You know what? Well, here's the thing. We're only doing live streams for premieres and finales. And I will put a poll in the comment box. I'll make it real quick. And you guys can vote if you want to. Season 10, episode 1. What did I do? Loved it. Loved, liked, meh. No, love, like, okay. Okay, meh is going to be the middle. And then dislike and hate. And I spelled hate like a moron. There we go. Create poll. Copy that link. I'm going to put the link in the comments right now if you guys want to go real quick and vote on the straw poll. We'll see what you guys have to say. I'll put the straw poll up here, and we'll see what you guys have to say. I'll give it a few minutes before we go into that. Again, straw poll link is in the comment box right now. You can go ahead and vote. I will do my best to try to remember. Again, we had a little bit of a break, so I forgot. But I am interested in polling the episodes to see what you guys say or how you feel. And remember, you got to type at Make a Path Presents, all one word, and then I can see your questions. Or, yeah, I did that. Daryl threw that axe like a champ. Wish Rick threw like that back in season 8. Do you think Rick is ever going to return to The Walking Dead, or do you think he's gone for good? There was a moment where Judith was saying, that man, remember the bridge story, the brave man? And RJ asked if the brave man will be back, and Judith said no. Something like he's in heaven. I thought maybe that was like foreshadowing that. Because, listen, he's not, it's tricky. Will he reunite with those characters, the ones that survive? Yes, almost definitely, I would imagine, in some way, shape, or form. But will he be back on the show? Probably not, but we never know. A few years might go by. He does his second movie. And what if he's sick of what's going on? And he's like, I want to come back on the show and finish Rick out proper. I want one more season on the show. We don't know if all it takes is Andrew Lincoln saying, no, you know what? I want to do one more season. So right now I'll say I think the stories will likely line up in a reunion, but it doesn't. Who knows if it's on the show, in the Rick movies, on a spinoff? Who knows at this point? But it most likely will reunite unless they finish the Rick movies off. But as of right now, we shouldn't even be asking, will Rick return? Because we're years away from even where that's even relevant. You know what I mean? Amber said, what are your thoughts on the third Walking Dead series? I'm going to keep this real short because I did a whole video. I did 2 videos discussing the third series, and I don't want to be repetitive for those who did already watch the videos, but it looks like a CW version of The Walking Dead, and it's probably not for me, but I will give it a try. I am shocked how much negativity the trailer got on social media. I thought I was in the minority and most fans were like, hell yeah, give it to me, baby. But I think it was in the majority. There were a lot of people saying, what is this shit? I don't want this, yuck. They were even more negative than I was. That shocked me. I thought people were just going to be like, yeah, give it to me. I put the straw poll in the comment box again. That is for you guys to go and vote for the new episode. Did you love it, hate it, whatever? Put that in the... I was thinking I should do a straw poll for the new series. Maybe we'll do that in a separate video because I'd be curious to see what the poll says. Aaron P., what's the timeline of this episode to the last episode? I don't know. What did Aaron say? A few months? A few months. Let's go with that. A few months, I think Aaron said. I think the characters going into the Rick movies will tell the main group about Rick and how he died helping people from the movies. Wait, what? I think the characters going into the Rick movies will tell the main group about Rick and how he died helping people from the movies. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. That is possible. That is possible. I think that would be wildly underwhelming, but it is possible. Only because it leaves his original family and friends with that question, why didn't Rick try to get back to us? He saved you guys? All right. Who are you? Why didn't he try to come back to us? Same reason I hate Morgan now. Morgan, what are you doing? You got your friends and family back at the... You were in a war with these people, alongside these people, and you're just like, yeah, let's make home here. Why don't you take your people and go back home where you belong, you know? Nasty Nate. Ronnie, it's rumored that The Last of Us 2 is going to be so big it's going to have 2 discs like Red Dead. Yeah, I heard that. I tried to find like concrete proof, but of where that rumor came from, but I'm not sure. If it is 2 discs, that would be cool. Wait, Red Dead Redemption. I totally didn't even realize Red Dead was 2 discs. Hold on. I'll be damned. It is 2 discs. Data disc and then play disc. Oh, well, yeah, that's fine then. Do what Red Dead did. See what I mean? That's awesome because The Last of Us will be so big, but I didn't even notice. Norvaki, do you think Alexandria, Hilltop, Oceanside could all be destroyed and the survivors join one of the CRM communities? Yeah, I think eventually it could happen. But do I think they're going that direction? No. I don't see anything that would lead me to believe they're going that direction. What's up, Meow Cat Bissy? The Walking Dead is Life said, thank you so much for your opinion, but since Michonne is leaving, what do you think will happen to her kids? Well, they'll stay behind. I can't imagine them taking... I could see RJ, but I can't imagine them taking Judith off the show. AMC Premiere is showing new Walking Dead episodes 48 hours in advance. Okay, so was it just the premiere that airs a week early, and the rest are 48 hours in advance? Because I know the premiere 100% aired last week. I know because AMC sent me a email about it. So 100% it aired last week on AMC Premiere. And I know for a fact Fear airs 48 hours, airs on Friday, doesn't it? And again, because AMC sends me emails about it, because I keep tabs with, I'm not special, I just keep tabs with the newsletter. So they send all their information to my email. But again, The Walking Dead aired 1 week early. So is that just for premieres, or is that or are they going to take the regular episodes and do it 48 hours? Because if you're talking about Fear, then that doesn't, that's not the same as The Walking Dead. They might do something different, or they could do the same as Fear. I'm not sure. Did you think this episode had the odd cut to commercials? I think one moment was a bit off, but I'm getting used to TV just being a real bitch when it comes to commercials. Ian Willie said, I felt the same way, bud. It's nice having The Walking Dead back, but there's something missing. Yeah, there's definitely something missing. The Last of Us will not be 2 discs. Ghost was 2 discs. It's one for data, and then one that contains the game. That doesn't go for how big the game is. I don't know what Ghost is. Ghost what? I don't know if I believe you, Thomas. I don't know if I believe that. The having 2 discs doesn't mean it's gonna be big. I don't know if I believe that. I mean, listen, the more detail, the more information, and you're gonna need to put that information on. Well, how would that be broken apart? Yeah, I don't know if I buy that. I mean, it would have to be bigger to some extent. That's why they're putting it on 2 discs. But yes, I understand there's data that you download off of 1 disc, and the other disc is playable. But I would assume that means it's huge, because they're coming out saying it is freaking huge. David, all right. And thank you very much for the Map Mob members in the chat. If I missed some of your comments already, I apologize. I'll catch up on some of them. David said, what do you think the point in Daryl and Carol saying they wanted to run away was? Seemed out of nowhere and forced to me. Well, this is showing how they're feeling in this current moment, As far as will it touch into something more important down the line? Maybe. I'm sure it'll swing back through, and maybe they'll add more to that, more meaning and purpose to it. But for right now, I'm pretty sure it is strictly about, all right, where have our characters been? What have they been doing? How do they feel? Because that's that's important. We need to know that Carol, for example, they haven't come right out and said it, but Carol, it seems like, or maybe they did. I could have sworn they hinted heavily at Carol needed to leave because she would have that bitch up. You know what I'm saying? And she was interested in finding Maggie. She did at least touch base where Maggie was leaving letters. But again, this is to show where our characters are at. Ray-Bans. You think the Rick movies will be based on a cure? No. The movies have to have a story that all viewers will find interesting. Yeah, I agree. They have to have a story, but keep in mind, a cure leads to the end of the show, the end of the series, and the end of the franchise. AMC's not going to go for a cure when they're looking to make this franchise bigger. Again, a cure ends the franchise. There's no. Cure is a hell's no. Unless there's people looking for a cure. Sure, they can look all day, up, down, left, right, across the ocean. It doesn't mean they're going to have one. So it could have something to do with a cure, but it doesn't mean that they actually have or will get a cure. Let me hit this dono real quick. IB Sweet P2 with a $5 donation. Does the stark contrast in quality between Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead simply boil down to Gimple's bad writing? Well, no, keep in mind, and let's be on the money. It's and I'll be real with you. I'm not going to shit you. Like, look, we had someone who just supported the channel, just donated $5, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to be real with you. It's lazy to just blame Scott Gimple. He is not writing Fear the Walking Dead. The other day I did a rant video about choices Gimple made and choices he was responsible for. He's responsible for the helicopter, the CRM. He's responsible for the crossovers. He's responsible for the franchise as a whole and how it all intertwines. Has he helped write an episode here or there or done something? I don't know. Look at the credits. If he has a writing credit, then okay. But he's not writing it. There's 2 showrunners. It's their fault if you're mad at the writing. And that's where the blame goes. Solidly. Now, when it comes to the helicopter, the crossovers, anything that is in Scott Gimple's ballpark, because he gives them a restriction on what they can do, what they can show, who it is, what's it about, and they have to stay within that I don't even know what the word I'm looking for. They have to stay within that boundary in order for it to be what's the word I'm looking for, where it is not consistency, come on. It has to match. But what's the smarter word for match? Continuity. All right. I think here's another tricky one. I don't know the Fear the Walking Dead's budget, but budget could be an issue. I don't know. But it's not just Scott Gimple and his writing. It is the writing, and it could be some of the budget. But there's more people to blame than him, for real. And I don't think it helps blaming just him, because then you're not blaming the people who are more responsible, the showrunners, the writers. We need to put the blame where it rests. Slizzle 90, what are your thoughts on the premiere being more of a setup episode than a mind-blowing one? Not shocked, and I'm not mad that it is. I don't need mind-blowing. And premieres, like I said with the third show, I already know going into the show, or at least I'm confident going into the third show, the first episode's going to be setting this shit up. It's not going to be mind-blowing. They're living at the same point in time as these characters. It's not going to blow anyone's mind. So I'm going in there knowing, yeah, it's set up. With this episode, setup is fine, as long as the story that comes after is fire. That's all that matters. No pun intended. Do you feel like this show is starting to feel like a CW show without Rick? No. Not at this time. Do you have any early death predictions? No. Yeah, let me put the poll again. I'm going to put the poll in the comments section one more time. I don't have any death predictions right now. I am doing everything I can to get a death prediction video out, though, for you guys. The new Rick movies, do you think he will be the same character, or will they change him and make him forget everyone? I hate amnesia, and I hate it. Will they make him do it? It's Hollywood. I would not be shocked if they went with amnesia. It's cheap, it's shitty, it's lazy, but if they're desperate, which he's gone for so long, he might be desperate, you know? And there are some fans that get off on that. Like, oh my God, he remembers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, there's some times where it works really well. But no, I don't want Rick to have amnesia. I hate it. I think it's so lazy. But if he does, oh well, nothing I can do about it. Creature of Darkness. I love Daryl and Carol tonight. Do you think Carol will kill Alpha this season? I'm 80% no, but there is a 20% I kind of want her to, you know? Roland 666. Is Nicotero bailing on The Walking Dead to do Creep Show? No, he's not. And going back to his George Romero horror roots, Robert Kurtzman is retired from KNB Effects, and Howard Berger mostly does film. Well, I haven't looked into it, but I do know just from behind the scenes stuff that Nicotero's crew, has a good chunk of people on it. So I don't think he's fully bailing at all. Plus, he's a producer now. He's an executive producer, I'm pretty sure, of The Walking Dead, isn't he? I gotta look it up. He directs. He's an executive producer. I mean, his claws are in, and I mean that in a positive way. He's in with the people and the cast and crew. They're like family to him now, or at least a chunk of them. So no, I don't think he's bouncing for Creepshow. Would you? I think Creepshow I can't wait to watch it. But would I leave The Walking Dead for a Creepshow? Are you kidding me? But it's awesome to work on it, but not walk away from The Walking Dead. Nasty Nate, Ronnie, after seeing Joker, is he your new favorite Joker? I was thinking that the other day, and I'm not doing it. I don't think there's any reason. There's no reason for me to pick between Ledger and Phoenix. They're so wildly different in such a beautiful way. They're both easily at the top for me. So, yeah, it does. They're both my favorites. And again, you have to watch it to get it for those who haven't seen it yet. But it's so different. I even went back and watched Ledger's Joker afterwards because I was like, do I like him better? And he's just so different. It's like I love them equally. Do you think Angela Kang is watering down the brutality and rawness that the show once had and adding a bit of cheese? Thoughts on narration during the previously on? I didn't catch the narration on the previously on. Excuse me. But I did say last season I didn't like any of that. Having the characters talk about what... I hated that. I hated that so much. I still hate it. Keep the actor narrations out of the previously on, next on. Keep that shit out of it. Just previously on The Walking Dead and run it. Don't have our actors do it. It breaks the immersion. I hate it. My friend and I used Amnesia as a plot device when we were 12 years old. It's so easy, a child could use it. Very true. Exactly. Wait, I think I skipped someone. I might have skipped a few people. Did you see the shout out to The Walking Dead in the new Zombieland 2 trailer? Yeah, I thought that was funny. Wouldn't the satellite crash site be way bigger? It looked to me like it just landed, but it wouldn't plow into the ground and eventually halt. I think it would have created a crater, but to be honest, I thought a lot of it would have been more burnt up and more, in a crater. I think some of that is just TV. You know what I mean? I don't think that. I don't think that's what a satellite would look like. Do you think Angela Kang? Okay, I did read that one. I'm so annoyed at this Dwight and Sherry thing, but I want your opinion on it. Do you think they will ever reunite, or what is your opinion on it? Well, here's the thing. The actress, unless they recast, the actress is doing her own show. She's the lead, and I'm pretty sure it's on Amazon or something. You guys are going to have to Google that. Is it still going? Is she still on that show? See what she's doing. It might be a situation where the actress just can't, contractually, she can't get on the show. Maybe they need to delay it till season 6. But at this point, I'll be honest, what is my opinion? I don't give a shit whether she's on it or not. I mean, I do for the actress, for her career. If she wants to do it, yes, go ahead. That'd be so cool. Yada, yada, yada. But character-wise, who gives a shit if they bring her back? I'm not going to watch it, Ooh, Sherry's coming back, Fucking buckle up, motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Shit's getting real now. No, I'm good. See ya, bitch. Yes, exactly. I gave... my daughter made me this. Speaking of which, my daughter turned 10 today, and she called herself a 2-digit midget. I was like, you got issues, kiddo. She, turned 10 today. Happy birthday, Juliet. Love you. Now go to bed. Ray-Bans. Maybe Rick never came back to his group because he's fighting the CRM or whoever they are to save so many people to bring back home, but ends up getting killed saving everyone. Maybe. That would suck. I'd hate it, but maybe. Did you hear about how two degenerates started smoking in a showing of Joker and the cops charged in with long guns? No, I didn't hear that at all. Do you think the Walking Dead movies will make the TV show as popular or even more widespread than ever before? It was huge. I think if they're good, it'll help boost up some of the fan base. But at this time, it would need to be some moving shit in order to get a boost like that, you know? What did you think about the CGI? I thought it was okay. I thought the CGI was all right. You could see a couple weaker moments, but I didn't hate it. Do all Walking Dead spin-offs have to be drama-focused, or is there potential for an action or comedy-focused show? Not a comedy. That would tarnish the brand. As far as action, I think there's something you can do with that. But again, a lot of it will come down to that drama. I mean, that's what is so good in this world. This type of story and this type of genre specifically. What did you think of tonight's episode? Did Alpha have... Jordan, I can't... I just talked my ass off about it. I can't repeat all that. It was a good episode. Just set up. I ain't mad. Did Alpha have the red machete in the barn scene? I don't know. I thought that was black and white. I'll have to rewatch it again. And as far as... I don't think she had the red machete last time either. As far as my opinions, I keep my review in the first 10 minutes. So all you have to do is rewind it when we're done, and you'll get all my thoughts and opinions. Amber said, what was all the talk about birds this episode? Did I miss something? Birds? I must have missed it too. I don't know what you're talking about. What character are you most excited for? Aaron's story seems interesting. Right now, Aaron. What did you think of the description stuff they did in the episode, like Training Day, Ashes? I don't like that shit. I don't know. It's not for me, but we'll see. What the fuck was that? OBS just started having a seizure. What if episode 3 or 4, Manhammer says, or 6, are a big episode or a big death or something crazy happens? Would you do a live stream? No, we're sticking with premieres and finales. We listen. I want to make this abundantly clear. I enjoy just sitting here and talking my face off, but we did it for 2 years. I mean, I could look back. It might even be longer, but we did it for over 2 years. It butchered my analytics so bad. I'm actually seriously considering just fucking leaving and doing a whole new channel. It is that bad. I tested it. I started a channel that had nothing, and I tested it and looked at some of the analytics on how the videos did and how they were recommended and how they got clicked. And it's funny because one I did got almost nothing. So it was like, okay, bad title. So I tweaked it a bit. And I started some random ass channel that was connected to nothing. I picked a nice little hot title and blah, blah, blah. And I put the video up on this channel, and I put the video up on the tester channel. And the tester channel, by the analytics, again, it's smaller. This one has a bigger kicking off point. But if you base the analytics on this one, it gets, and we're talking about YouTube recommending it. That's a big one. If you search a title or if you're watching something, my stats show that YouTube is only recommending my videos like 20% or less. And it used to be 80%. You know what I'm saying? It's down to 20, which means, and on my other ones, it's being recommended. The Ronnie Hayes channel, my personal channel, there's only 2,000 subs, but those videos get recommended more than this channel with 100,000 subs. You know what I'm saying? And again, the only thing I could correlate on the back end with the numbers, the live streams, people were saying because the audience retention YouTube counts that audience retention. So if you come and watch 10 minutes of a 3-hour stream and then you leave and go to work and then come back and watch 30 minutes and bounce and come back and watch, it's just literally murdering your channel. Unless I understand it wrong, and I'm still trying to understand it more, but I've asked people that study those, and that's what they tell me. I'm going to look into it and do some more research, but when we start doing you guys will know it. It's called Flaws and Awes. When I start putting out the Flaws and Awes videos, those are going to be like, you know how CinemaSins picks out the sins and they have a beep? We're not doing no timer like CinemaSins, but it's going to be something like that. But we're actually breaking down the whole movie, what's good, what's bad. It's not about jokes. CinemaSins got terrible over the last couple years where they'll be like, look at this, Daryl has a dirty poncho, ding, and they'll make a stupid joke and they'll sin it, and it's not a sin. It's not, there's nothing wrong with it, but they just every time they talk they sin it, and sometimes they talk and it has nothing to do with the movie and they sin it anyway. That's a side rant. But this is different than that, so you guys have to look for it. Honey, what are you doing? Oh, about time. Get to bed now. Let me see.
It was holding on by a lot.
Yeah, it was. Let me see it. Look at that root. All right, now get to bed. Love you.
I got an extra $1
Wow,
for you,
look
by
at
the
that.
way.
Yeah, go to bed.
Look.
Everyone said happy birthday to you. Say thank you.
I was like pushing it back.
Yeah.
And then I just pushed it forward and it just came out and I'm like, oh, wait, what? And I just pulled it out of my mouth.
Her tooth fell out. Bam, it was hanging in by a little root. All right, love you. Get to bed. Look.
Can I see how it looks when in the mirror real quick?
Yeah, but real quick. Go. You see the ratings go down or stabilizing or increasing this season. For right now, it's only one episode. I see it holding steady for now. Juliet.
Oh, I thought. Sorry.
Door. What do you think Eugene will do with the satellite parts? Thank you. Love you. Weirdo. And also, how concerned are you with Rick's movie knowing connected to new show, which in my opinion looks like dog shit? Well, it's not connected like that, so I'm not worried at all. As far as Eugene, what will he do with the satellite? The only thing I can think is some type of communication. Tonight was depressing. Everyone felt defeated. We've only got a few characters left who are even keeping Rick and company's memory alive, and they're all looking for something to live for. I didn't get that. I mean, listen, we have 16 hours of this season. I want to look at the straw poll. Guys, go in the comments. If you haven't voted yet, vote for this episode. I put the link in the comments. We're going to go and look at the final tally in a minute. But no, I didn't get that at all because we have 16 hours. This was only the first hour, you know? Well, I think it's really like 13, and this was the first 40 minutes. So, yeah, it's a little more of a downer startup. But, yeah, I have all her teeth that fell out of her mouth in one of the little teeth jar thingies. Do you think Daryl is the only character that's 100% safe from death until the last episode of the series? I wouldn't say until the last episode, but for a long time, sure. Yeah, he's safe. I don't think he'll die anytime soon. Have you seen In the Tall Grass? It's a bizarre movie. No, I want to watch it though. Breaking Bad, I'm watching it with my grandfather this Friday. We are hyped. Excuse me. My grandfather's the one who got me watching it because he saw this show and he was loving it. And he goes, yo, there's this kid on this show and he reminds me so much of you. You need to watch this show. So I was like, minus the meth addiction. I was like, all right, let me check it out. And back then, I was mad skinnier, so that's probably why. Anyhow, and I'm in the baggy clothes. I can't fucking stand tight clothes, man. I can't stand it. But we're gonna watch it this Friday. Breaking Bad movie. I am hyped. Loved how Daryl's trying to learn sign language for Connie and had an how-to sign language book in the back pocket. Ship them together, and that look Kelly gave Connie. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with those two characters. I think that fits. Do you think Connie and Daryl will get together? I think they're setting up something like that, but uh, we don't know if Connie could get killed before that. You know what I mean? Yeah, in the episode, Daryl and Ezekiel were talking about bird shit. Negan and Gabriel were talking about birds. Birds, and the baby mobile was origami birds. I don't know. I'll keep my eye out for more bird stuff, but that's got to be hints for something. Aaron is your new favorite. Hated the title cards. Yeah, I agree with that. Tell your daughter happy birthday. Hope this new show coming out is good. But do you think the 3 Rick movies is it for him? Will that be the end of his story? At this time, that's what it sounds like. Nobody can predict how he's going to feel in, let's say, 6 years, 2 years each movie. He could say, this is it, I'm done. Or he could be like, get a second wind and be like, no, I want to go a whole season. No one knows how he's going to feel. He could do 1 movie and say, no, I'm not doing 3. Just do 2, you know? Depending. Do you put Juliet old teeth on the bodies you have in the closet? Cough Meow Cat did an interview. No, I don't do that. I glue the teeth onto a robot I'm building. It's a Terminator, and I need real teeth for it. So, Ronnie, this might be a stretch, but where does the 3rd show take place? Because what if the trip Daryl and Carol were talking about taking was foreshadowing a crossover? The 3rd show takes place in Nebraska, I think. And I highly, highly doubt they're going to take their 2 huge, first season characters and send them to the crossover for the 3rd show. Unless it was a cameo and they come back. You know what I mean? That would be suicide. All right, let's look at the straw poll before some people get sick of it. We are going to end. Unfortunately, we're at our hour mark. So 4 more minutes. And here's the thing. I love doing these streams with you guys. I would do it normally. I would just say, fuck it, and sit here for another hour. But we got to trim it down. Plus, I got that other newer content I need to get working on. And I know you guys will love it. If I do it right, I think you guys will really like it. All right, let's pick. I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it. It was good. Let's vote. I liked it. We got 50% that liked it. We got 25% that loved it. We got 17 that was okay or meh. We got 5% that, let's say 6% that disliked it, and only 1% that hated it. That's, wow, look at that pie chart. We've got half of it is like, obviously, and then a quarter is love. So out of like and love, out of the positive, that's 75% in the positive. And then the okay and meh, I mean, that could go either way with that. But overall, 75% positive. A 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10, I think that is a very fair rating for this episode. Very, very fair. 8 out of 10, in my opinion, might be a little high. Keep in mind, it's rough. 1 is like crap, terrible. So then it's like it's going up and up, and 5 is okay. It's, midway point. It's not terrible, it's not good. It's not terrible, it's not great. And then you got 6, okay. 7, it's good. 8, ooh, man, really good. 9, great. 10, oh my fucking God. So a 7 out of 10 for this episode. That's right on the money. 7.5, something like that. I agree with that. Chris Stanley with a $10 donation. Thank you very much for the dono, Stanley. Ronnie, I think there is still hope for The Walking Dead, but it all depends on how AMC plays it. Do you think they'll handle it well? Also, thanks for the stream. Oh, thank you for the support. And don't forget, at the end of the year, like I said, end of the month, like I said, we're going to try last Saturday of every month. We do the members only and the Patreon only stream, the behind the scenes stream. But as far as AMC handling it, I want to believe that they recognize this is their meal ticket. This is their biggest franchise. This is their MCU. So they need to fucking buckle on that budget. They need to give The Walking Dead more. And if they have, and it's just not announced, all right, well, we'll see. It's only one episode in season 10. They need variety as well. The repetition. We're seeing a lot of writing where people go, this, they liked this in the older series, or they like this in the video game. Okay, let's do that, but we'll twist it up some. They need to stop that. We need fresh, different, wild, unique ideas for the world of The Walking Dead. And don't tell me you can't do that, because I'm literally a fucking nobody. And I've got shit in a binder there that I am confident if you put that on The Walking Dead, I am confident you guys will bust a nut. Ladies too. You know what I mean? Zombie fans. So it can be done. If little shit stain ass like myself can put something together, just being a zombie fan and studying a bit of writing, obviously you need to do that stuff. They can do it, but it's about finding the right people and easing up, giving some more over to that budget. Again, I'd have to really dive in deep, and maybe I can pinpoint some other areas where I'm not going to be able to point out everything that's wrong with it. You know what I mean? Because again, I'm going to miss stuff. I'm not perfect. I'm not, you know what I mean? So it's only what I can see as a fan. And I think that's a really important aspect of it, because we're the ones who will watch it or not. We're the ones who will buy the stuff. We're the ones who will support it. So when I'm watching The Walking Dead and I see everyone's always on the side of a road somewhere, always in the woods on the side of a road, well, we all know why that is, because it's cheaper than being in a town and having to block off the town to film there, here's an idea. Why didn't you have a little space that you could buy spaces for dirt cheap? Maybe in their area they don't have spaces. Why didn't you build like a back lot, like town, where you can do something where at least have buildings, side of buildings? I mean, there's got to be a way to get multiple angles to film where it's something instead of always on the side of the road. And also, tarps is another trick they use a lot. People will be in a yard or a fence or a building, and there will be a ripped up, dirty tarp. That tarp is only to cover up shit that they don't want to edit out in CGI because it's expensive. And you see tarps, and you see it in so much. So that's why I say, and I'm trying to let you guys know why I say and harp on the budget, because it would help. Tell your daughter happy birthday. Hope the new. Okay, I already did that one. Let's go down to some of the fresher comments. Chris Stanley said, what did you say? Jury is out, Ronnie. Keep my fingers crossed. Also loving Doomsday Kingdom. Thank you very much. We also have some whatever is left on the website. If anyone wants to go buy whatever you buy, really supports Doomsday Kingdom. Like I said, we're having a few more orders come in, and we're taking that money and doing some restock. No more pre-orders, so when you order, give us a few days. We'll ship it right out. What else? I'm actually shipping a box to the UK that's got to get shipped out to UK customers. We can only do that after we collect some, though, because it's $120 just to ship there and back. Did you hear Gimple said they're considering doing the musical episode on the main The Walking Dead show? That's a lie, man, Hammer. No offense, but that's not true. If you want to prove it, then I will just say I don't buy that right now. If you want to prove it, prove it. But there was a real article that had a real interview that I saw where it was for Fear the Walking Dead, and it was the girl who played Grace, the girl who was pregnant the whole time or some shit like that, and she was real sick. And she said she did talk to them because I guess she was a singer or something, and the showrunners were up for the idea. So that's Fear the Walking Dead. That is not The Walking Dead. Again, unless there's a new article in Gimple saying, yeah, let's do it. If that's the case, that man needs to be fired. I'm sorry. I like Gimple, but no. A musical, no. How do you think Maggie will react when she finds out about the whispers and the decapitations? Well, I think she's going to come in strong. From how it sounds like she's coming in and the season's going to end shortly after. So it makes sense that if they're not fully finished with the whispers yet, maybe Beta is still lingering. It makes sense that they would end it where Maggie's coming back. She has some help behind her, and Beta's fucked. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense that they would leave on that kind of big note. Any info on A. Lincoln looking for new roles, or is he contractually locked in for all 3 movies? Well, I don't know. I don't know what contracts he has for any movies. I know he's already locked in for the one with the option of 2 more. And again, I don't know if he's locked in for all 3. I know it's just one specifically. I don't want to add to, because I read it and I kind of just forgot about it. As far as is he looking for new roles? Yeah, he's an actor. He's allowed to do whatever he wants as long as it doesn't interfere with them filming the Rick movies. And I don't think they're even filming yet, so he's good. He can do whatever he wants. Unless it's stunts. He's not allowed to hurt himself. They can do whatever they want, Ronnie. For the love of God, get it right, AMC. Yeah, I just want them to get it right. You know what I mean? Have you thought about making your comic into an anime? No, I will not make it into an anime. I don't see any reason why I'll make it into an anime. It's already a comic. Just read the comic. I mean, would the only difference be, and maybe this is me being ignorant to anime, would the only difference be how, like, the style it's drawn in? Would that be the only difference? Because I'm not into anime. You know what I'm saying? Or do you mean like an animated show, like a little animation? If that's the case, no way, that's expensive. Can't do that. That your response? Wait, okay, you're talking to each other. Have you thought about? All right, did that? No. Gimple confirmed it at NYC. Google it. He really said it. All right, let me see this shit. New York Comic-Con Gimple musical. Scott Gimple says a musical episode of The Walking Dead is in the works. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Scott Gimple, what the fuck are you doing? Scott Gimple says a musical episode of The Walking Dead is in the works. For fuck's sake. You know what? I'm wrong. Scott Gimple doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He got lucky, I guess. Just the mere suggestion that you're gonna do a musical. The Walking Dead is dead, guys. I'm so fucking glad we're moving on to new content. It is dead. Let's watch season 10. Fuck the 3rd show. Fear is fucking flatlining right now. A musical, I don't even need to read anything else. A musical, you guys are AMC's fucked. You guys heard it here. AMC's done. There's no hope. They're too greedy anyway. Even their own friends are suing them. And now they're talking about a musical. Jesus fucking Christ. Even if it's like Daryl lost all the blood in his body and he's near death and he did so much fucking acid that he's tripping balls, even then, you should not have where he's hallucinating dancing musical zombies. You know what I'm saying? Because I know someone did mention, oh, it's fine. It doesn't have to be real. It could be a hallucination. And even then, it's like this is the fucking Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying? This isn't the CW or some dumbass shit like that. This is respect the franchise. What do you... Yikes. Well, shows have done musical episodes before. There's the classic Once More with Feeling episode of Buffy. Fucking Buffy. They use Buffy as an example. There was the Delightful Mayhem of the Music Miser Meister episode of the animated Batman the Brave and the Bold, which later inspired the dual episode of The Flash, guest starring characters from Supergirl. But those could be explained within the context of the show. In the Buffy episode, the people of Sunnydale were manipulated by a demon. Fucking dumb. In both the Brave and Bold and Flash, the villain was the musically themed Music Meister who had mind control abilities. It helps to see the dumb shit, the dumb levels you gotta go to get a musical. They have also been musical episodes of several non-genre shows, including Community, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which are comedies, Scrubs, How I Met Your Mother, all comedies. So The Walking Dead, can I suggest She's Not There by the Zombies or Zombie by Cranberries? Oh, dumb shit. Are you ready to jam out to The Dancing Dead? The group in Oceanside continues to train in case the Whispers return. Tensions are high. I don't know what that means. Fuck me. I take that back, man, Hammer. I take it all back. Go watch The Joker. The Joker deserves your praise and support. Oh, fuck, I forgot to share this. Oh, my God, I didn't share it anywhere. I shared it late. Fuck it, I meant to delete it, and I shared it late. Son of a bitch. Oh, well, we're going to have to end it. Let me check for last questions of because we just talked about a musical. Are the zombies going to sing and dance? Who knows? He was probably joking. No, unless the articles are lying, straight up lying, he's not joking. They're literally working on it. Now, here's the only reason I said fear is because that's what they said about Fear the Walking Dead. So, season 10 is done, I think, filming-wise. I think they finish in November, officially. So, whatever is going on is already written fully. So if there's a musical, the only place they could do it is Fear the Walking Dead, which I don't give a fuck. Put a musical in that. I mean, I think it stains your franchise as a whole. You idiots should be going darker and deeper, but you're going the opposite way. What is wrong with you? You're like, let's do kids, you know? Here's the problem real quick, because I did see a couple people say, well, what's the problem with having a young cast? Here's the problem with having a young cast in something like The Walking Dead. A young cast means you're going to focus heavily on a younger audience. What happens with a younger audience? You're going to have a lot of people that their parents won't let them watch something that's bloody, gory, that has dark adult themes to it. So you're going to get a lot of your customers, your viewers who are not allowed to see it because they're parents. Maybe they're, let's combine all the problems into one. You are creating a project, something for a certain target audience, but if you do it how it should be organically, a good chunk of your audience won't even be able to watch it, whether it's their mother or whatever it is. They can't even watch it, so hence, therefore, it's just too close to something that's fucked. You know what I mean? Therefore, they would have to, maybe I should say this too. Therefore, they would have to lighten up on the blood, the gore, lighten up on how deep and dark the themes go, and cut it back some. And then it becomes watered down and junk. Even if it's a fever dream, Howling Wolf, even if it's a fever dream, that doesn't excuse it. Imagine The Walking Dead, and you get a fever dream musical. What the fuck? You know, even a fever dream. Don't compare Buffy to The Walking Dead, seriously. Well, I guess they're going for it. The moment I saw space in the episode of The Walking Dead, I thought to myself, they're ending the show soon. Do you think when Rick left The Walking Dead lost its spunk just a little? Oh, definitely. For me, there was definitely something missing. I think AMC is trying to get new lifelong The Walking Dead fans with the third show. Yeah, it does appear they're trying to focus younger to keep them around. What about Stranger Things, Chapter 1? I don't know what you're talking about. I think AMC's trying to get new lifelong to Walking Dead fans. Aaron P. The stream, shit, I'm not even sure. I think the private streams is the $5 minimum a month. Because here's the problem. That's the minimum on YouTube. So if I do $1 on Patreon, it'll be, but we'll look into it. So for right now, it's easier for me to lower it than it is to raise it. Imagine if I said, yeah, it's $1, and then later I'm like, nope, it's $5. So let's stick with $5. Let's work on the back end. If it's fine to lower it to $1, then I'll look at that. But YouTube is $5, so it has to at the least match YouTube because I need it to be fair and even for it all. So it has to be that $5 jump off. If we change it, if you want to wait, go ahead and wait. And if we do figure things out and we take it down to the $1 one, then I'll let you know. Because we are looking at different things. I know. I'll be honest. Eliminating the $1 was something that was top of the list of changes coming up. It sounds terrible, but it doesn't really do much unless you're, you have 2 million fans and you got, 3,000 people on Patreon and most of them give $1. But when you're smaller and you got small base on there, it doesn't do anything. Because again, I think Patreon takes the most of that. I gotta look into it because they have some shit that I don't know about. I didn't read up on, but I got a whole article saved on why your minimum should be like a 3 because the 1 does like nothing. But I'll Google it. If you want to Google it, read up on it. If you're curious, let me know. Let's see. Do we show? Ian Willie said, where'd it go? I just said okay. Where did it go? What the fuck? Didn't I just say okay on that? Ian Willie, what the fuck's going on with Ounce, a show treated with such respect to thinking about a musical? I have no clue. What are we at? 1 hour and 17 minutes? We're over, so we need to wrap this up. Do you think they going to kill Judith or Art? No. Since Michonne's leaving, sorry if you already talked about it. No, not at all. Think about it. Judith and RJ are legacy characters for a future show or movie. They could kill them off if they want to, but if they were smart, they would leave them alive because they can, at any point in time, they can come out with a movie and cast it and say it's a time jump and show 20-year-old Judith and 17-year-old RJ or however old they are far apart, however difference. How would you have written Morgan's crossover to Fear? I wouldn't have. I would have kicked my feet screaming and said no, leave him on The Walking Dead. You're gonna quit now or else your algorithm is gonna suffer. We're shutting it down. I didn't want to I hate doing this where it's like, oh my god, we just discovered this ridiculous musical shit and then just shut it down on people. Because when I'm watching a stream and they get into something that's meaty and interesting and then they go, oh, we hit our time limit, we're out of here, and they shut it down immediately, I think, you know what, they're just doing this for the fucking donations and yada yada yada. Because as soon as they hit their hour, they're fucking out, even though they have something interesting to talk about. So we're gonna give it till let's give it a few more minutes. I want to hurry up and get into the questions because we do have to shut it down though. Q&A. Is it true Negan is leaving the show too? They haven't done anything with his character. Well, if they're sticking with the comics, no, it's fine. They're not supposed to do anything with Negan for a little while. Is he leaving? I don't know. I'm not looking into The Walking Dead like that. I am trying to, with the new content, I want to move away. I'm sick of watching The Walking Dead knowing everything because every time there's a rumor, we're discussing it. Which at first it was like, okay, let's stay away from the spoilers, but that doesn't work because then people just call spoilers rumors and boom, next thing you know, we're talking about spoilers when, someone just said, oh, it's a rumor. I want to move away from knowing any of that and just focus on the trailers that come out, and maybe articles where they announce stuff. We can't shield ourselves from everything, but hopefully in a few months when we have this content plus the new content, that won't be so much of a focus of what we do. So, but I haven't heard anything, and I'm not trying to look into it either, though. That might be why. A musical in the Walking Dead universe would be asinine. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. All right, Uncle Roy said, I quit after Carl. Why does it do that? I quit after Carl died. This show was scrolling through and saw this stream. Hey, Ronnie. What's up, Uncle Roy? Oh, you actually got a notification for this? I'm not buying the musical thing. Obviously, he said it, but I can't see it getting greenlit or off the ground. Well, he said it. That alone, the thought that you would say that and think that's a good thing, I don't know about that. Enjoy all your videos. Thanks for being so truthful about everything. But do you think Negan is going to be a good person? Like he's going to change it all? I think so. They're already lining it up, connecting it with Judith. So Dawson says, where the F is Bun in NC? I live in Dunn, NC. I've never heard of Bun. I have no idea. I don't know. I picked a post office box that was not in a crowded area. My last one was in a crowded area. When I was moving, I would have a lot more traffic to get to it, so I had to switch anyway. So what I did is I picked one that's a nice little drive, and I love it. It's out in the middle of nowhere. There's like one main street. I show up, I get my mail, and I bounce. There's never anyone there. And it's actually cheaper than getting a post office in the city. So if you get one that's in or near the city, it's more expensive and you're there forever. And the problem is you have to go every day because you never know when someone's going to send you something. So I'm going every day, fighting traffic, sitting there sometimes. And that's when you have to sit and wait for your shit. So, but again, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I know it's 22 minutes from my house. I zip there, in and out, and I'm bong, done. You're gonna have to look on a map though, brother. I heard of Dunn though. I have no clue where that is. I've never been to Dunn. The whole Walking Dead universe, where you at, has become too convoluted. I don't care about the third show. Fierce finale sucked, and a musical really. It's a sinking ship. RJ's voice is annoying. Yikes. Did you enjoy tonight's episode? Yeah, it was good. Oh, Chris Stanley with a $5 donation. I picture the cast doing leg kicks like they do in Broadway shows, Ronnie. Is that the can-can dance? I think it is, when they hold each other's shoulders and they're like, hi-ya, do the Karate Kid. All right, let's get the last few because we have to shut it down now. Saw the sneak peek for next week's episode. It's a flashback to Alpha Beta origin story. Hopefully they flesh out Beta. Yeah, we knew the second episode was a Whisper-heavy origin, so which we'll see. We'll see. I have not seen The Last Kingdom. I might watch The Tall Grass before I go to bed, though. But if you guys, like I said, if there's anyone that is interested, I'm not going to promote the Patreon or the memberships on YouTube. I'm not going to promote that heavily until we start bringing out the new content. Mainly, I want one Flaws and Awes, and I want one Halloween special. That is, Halloween specials at the end of the month. Flaws and Awes is probably in about a week or a week and a half. And when I get those out, then I want to be able to go, because I want to do other projects like that and building it up. And I want to get some thoughts and opinions too behind the scenes, because we're going to be grading the movies that we discuss or break down on the channel and showing essentially everything we love and then everything we hate. The original idea was we would do part one would be all the flaws, and then part two would be all the awes, you know, so anything that's bad in one video and everything that's good in one video. Maybe for bigger projects we'll do that, but for right now I'm going to test it out with doing the good and the bad in one and see how it works. I'm going to start with picture overlays where it'll say the grade when we do the transition, because we're going to grade it. And then if it's good and people like it and it's getting views and it's getting shared, I'm going to hire someone to do an animation, or pay them to do an animation, where when we say we're going to do the grade and when we have flaws and ahs come on the screen, it'll be a little animation like a Make a Path Presents and then flaws and ahs. So that'll be down the line, but I am so excited for that because there's the variety of movies we can cover and break down in a way that I've always wanted to watch something like that. CinemaSins was part of what inspired it, because when I first found CinemaSins, the concept, I was like, oh my God, this is fun for viewers, but also it's so cool because if people are interested in writing, in filming, if you're in Hollywood, you can watch CinemaSins, and it's like a guide on what not to do. This is fucking huge for the entertainment industry. This is so huge. And then I burned through a ton of CinemaSin videos, and I immediately was like, fuck this. This is dog shit. All it is dog shit. It's like, oh look, Carol's not naked here. Sin. And again, they claim it's supposed to be. Someone said it's supposed to be a joke or satire. I think that's full of shit. I think it's easy to say, oh, you don't get it because it's satire. No, I think it's just done lazily instead of coming, because picking out a flaw and awe and pointing out why it's a good or bad thing is not as easy as you think when you got to do it over and over for random or multiple movies. And it's easier to just say, this is too long. He said too many words. Oh, there's a half a glass of water on the counter. There's no milk in this scene. There's no lap dance in this scene. It's so easy to just throw dumb shit out there and keep it moving. And yeah. So again, part of what I want to do is like the stuff that I thought CinemaSins was going to do, pointing out the shit, because again, that's helpful, because then Hollywood could look at it and be like, all right, let's stop doing this, because every time fans of the zombie genre or the whatever and the this and this and this, every time they get to this point, they know immediately this is happening because we do it all the time. It's Hollywood structure to write stories like this. Can you get it online? Doomsday Kingdom website. Okay, someone said, Leanne Gash said, did you write the Doomsday Kingdom? Yes, I did. I really want to check it out. How much does it cost to be a member? I think YouTube is $5 a month, and Patreon is whatever you want. Now, the Doomsday Kingdom is, again, it's different. I'm the creator and writer. It's on doomsdaykingdom.com, and it's $4 for a digital issue, and you can read it right away. If you want a physical, it starts at $5 and then goes up depending on if you want it signed or limited edition or something like that. Anyhow, Ronnie, you should check Pitch Meetings with Brian. I watched a few of those. Those were good. I think Screen Rant is another one that's dog shit company, but especially their articles. But the pitch meetings are actually funny. Most of the ones I've seen are actually funny. If AMC contacted you, would you take on a role on The Walking Dead? No, probably not. I mean, what would I do? Zombie? Yeah, sure. Fuck it. You know, because you won't see me. I'd be cool and dirty and gross in a zombie. I would do that in a heartbeat. And again, this is a ridiculous what if. But acting wise, no, not at all. Come on. Even if I was, let's say you guys knew I was like, yo, Ronnie's good. He's a good actor. He's like fucking the man. It would be so hard to break that immersion. Every time you looked at the character, you'd be like, this is fucking Ronnie. So no. I mean, anything else but Walking Dead. Again, because there's that whatever. No. Writing, I would definitely write something and say, here, you know, if you like it, use it and pay me. If you don't, fuck it. You know, I tried. All right. Real rejects are cool. John Campea is good. I'm not going anywhere near John Campea. I've seen some of his stuff. He strikes me as a person like, you don't feel how I feel in life, then you're a garbage human being. He feels like one of those people, and I want to stay far away from that. I'll check out the Real Rejects. I've never heard of them before. Dylan says, we'll end on this because we do have to shut it down. We went an hour and 30 minutes, but we have to shut it down. Dylan says, it just seems like nothing cool happens, yet it always supposed to be so sad in the show. It's a grind to stay loyal at the point. Well, like I said before, it is only the very first episode out of 16 total that we're getting. And it's a very, what word did you put? Sad. They just had their communities brutalized. There's no way they can make it uplifting at this point in time and all cheery and bubbly. No. So there's going to be that dark cloud lingering. Now, I do think it'd be good for them to mix it up where you have some balance to the what I call ruin and reward. We've discussed that on the channel in the past too. And I think The Walking Dead does a poor job balancing ruin versus reward. If you're gonna ruin fans and that's make them sad, you gotta reward them, Anyhow, I don't know what you mean what happens after 89 minutes. I don't know what you're talking about. Enjoyed your Days Gone stream. Are you streaming The Last of Us 2? Yes, I am. I'm stoked for it. The rest of the season 10 of The Walking Dead. I would love to be on it. I'm streaming Last of Us 2. Ronnie, hope this isn't a stupid question, but if Fear the Walking Dead never existed, does that mean that if they didn't need money because it didn't existed, then would The Walking Dead have been bigger? No. Fear the Walking Dead doesn't affect the Walking Dead budget, or at least it shouldn't. If it did, then I'm sure there's some things that I'm sure it affected it to some extent, whether it's the people or whatever. I'm sure there's been some issues, and again, I don't know of everything behind the scenes, but I'm sure there's something. But as far as straight budget, no. If you get rid of Fear the Walking Dead, that doesn't mean The Walking Dead automatically gets all this money. That's not how that works. Oh man, Benjamin. All right, that prediction, Ellie killing Joel prediction, have fun with that. I will walk away. Let's just put it that. I'd shut the game off and quit. I would never go back to it again. That's how much I would hate that. All right. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. Remember, we're going to have if you're interested in a review still at this point, we're going to have a review up tomorrow for this episode. That's mainly for the majority of people that watch and don't like the live streams. And next week, we will do a review, not a live stream. But then when it comes to the mid-season finale, we will do a live stream for the mid-season finale. Then we'll do a live stream for the mid-season premiere. And then for the finale, we will do another live stream. Thank you very much for the Map Mob members donating monthly to keep the channel going, as well as Patreon supporters. Thank you very much for the support. And don't forget, for anyone new here, we are doing at least, we have started with one behind-the-scenes stream at the end of every month. Last Saturday of every month. That's what we're starting with right now. Maybe we'll change it to Friday if people like Friday better. You guys voice your thoughts and opinions in the comments below about Friday, Saturday-ish, something like that. And also this episode, what'd you think about it? And this is for people just showing up who haven't been talking with us throughout the stream. What'd you think about it? And what do you think for the setup going into this season 10? Thank you very much for the donations, guys, and also the support showing up. And hit that like button on the way out, please, while you're at it. I'm going to get some sleep. I'll see you tomorrow.